there and welcome. I'm Quentin Slebush from Stitched-Klerksdorp. We own an upholstery shop down here in sunny South Africa. Today I'm very excited to start a video series on a 1980s Toyota Corolla Silverwolf. So we are going to do the full interior on this car. Now it's going to be a big project, so we're going to cut this whole thing into various videos. Today we're starting on the dashboard. So the car is currently being built by Jacques from Toynus, also here in Klerksdorp. Now, when this man does something, he does it right. He definitely doesn't f**k around. And the photos I'm showing you here, you can see that. So when I saw the photos, I was pretty excited to start working on this thing. Now, before the car came to us, we started with the dashboard. Now, the dash was not in a good condition. He managed to fill it up as much as he could. And he also glued the screws into place that would bolt down into the car itself. With that finished, it was time for me to take it on from there. Now, we could have left it as it was and covered with a piece of foam and then the vinyl. But the thing is, you're going to lose a lot of definition. Now, the old dashboard was molded and had a defined shape, so we needed to try and replicate that. The first thing I did when I got the dashboard was grind away all of the excess. My main focus was around the bolts, to try and clean that up as much as possible. Otherwise the dash will not tie down as much as it needs to, because there's an edge at the back that needs to be maintained. After that I continued to sand down the top and that back edge. The closer I could get it to the shape I want, the easier the next process will be. With that finished, it was time to slather it with some body filler. Now, it wasn't too much of a problem. I had to repeat the process a couple of times, but that edge at the back was terribly tedious. Now, the thing is, that dash comes up about an inch off of the front part, so you're going to pick it up very quickly when that edge is not straight. But eventually, I did get there. And I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. Now, I'm not going to show you where I sanded it down because I basically forgot to press the record button. So, moving on. Now, as you can see here, it had a little bit of a slant coming down to the front. I tried to get that in there as well. Now, with that all finished, it was time to cover it. Now, gluing the dashboard isn't that difficult. The most difficult part is basically the start, just to make sure you have enough overhang on the sides. You don't want to start and halfway through you realize you've come up too short. So just keeping that in mind, the rest is pretty simple. So when applying glue, I usually use Jenkem and I apply it with a brush. The only thing is I try to do it lay it down as thinly as possible, mainly because if you apply it too thick, it doesn't stick, or it tends to burn the vinyl. Now, when working with leather, you don't really have that problem. Now, after gluing the vinyl and the dashboard itself, I usually warm it up a bit with a heat gun. This just quickens the process and makes the vinyl a bit easier to work with. Now, if you want to know when contact adhesive is ready for application, just wait until the glue is as tacky as the people living in Stilfontein. Then you are ready to glue to your heart's content. Now, as I said, this is basically the most difficult part, is just trying to get it lined up perfectly. But if the glue is still tacky enough, you can pick it up and lay it down again, without it causing any problems. Usually when laying down the vinyl, I tend to use a wet piece of foam or a wet cloth. This just makes smoothing out the vinyl much easier. Also, the vinyl was heated up, so this helps to cool it down immediately. Basically, it helps it stick like a bastard. With the one side now finished, it is onto the other, and it is much easier because now you can tension the vinyl. around, just checking that edge, and yes, it's not a screw up, thankfully. Now on from here, it was pretty simple, was just gluing around the sides, and I didn't record much of these parts because it was pretty difficult to get a clean shot, especially when jumping from the brush to the heat gun back and forth. It was a bit difficult to record. Now after gluing everything, I realized the sides are starting to flare out a bit, pulling away from the metal parts of the dash. All I did there is I left the vinyl a bit longer and just glued that onto the plate. That way it won't flare out again. After that, the only thing I had to do was cut away the vinyl around the openings where the screws need to go. And with that, the dashboard is basically finished. Now, it was fairly simple. The only thing that was difficult was really to get the shape of it precise. But other than that, the covering of the vinyl and everything, as you can see, a very easy process. Now before I show you how it looks inside of the car, I just want to let you know there are quite a few more videos on this car and a few more on some other projects that I'm quite excited about. So until then, stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.